Hi, welcome to Binge Buddies Automatic Pig. Me, your host, as always, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt Zombie Dog Frank Serpicao Dykes.
Oh, I'm a real cop who fights corrupt cops.
I like to think of you as the Charlie Day version from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But
Thanks.
yes, yeah. I mean, either way, you're still fighting corrupt cops.
Yeah, fair.
Just one's a little bit funnier. I'm gonna guess Joel is not gonna get this reference, but let's find out. We got Joel Robert Gorin Dewitte. Anyone? No. Ryan looks like he might know it.
No, I don't know that either.
Doodling Robert.
Maybe I'm not mispronouncing the last name. I've only seen like 3 episodes of this. Chewy watches it all the time. I'll give you the actor, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, is it one of the Law and Order, CSI? One of those.
Law and Order, Criminal Intent. There you go.
Okay.
Am I getting the name right, Ryan? I can't remember.
I've only seen that one a few times. That was one of the better ones in my opinion, but
yeah, my wife watches it. Like, she's actually on a kick right now. She's watching it every single night. So
I have to stop myself because if I go down that rabbit hole, it's never.
You do the same thing. You just watch all of it. Yeah. Yeah. My wife does that a lot.
The Law and Order series are essentially like the American version of anime, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Never ends.
It's like the Ace Attorney games, but in TV show. There's also something I can't watch them because like they just end like on just random lines. But he never actually confessed to it. Like, we got our confession. I'm like, no, I'm annoyed at your lack of reasoning. Like, I get it. That's not the point here, but.
Did they just walk out the interrogation with like swinging a bloody bat going, we got our confession? It's like, we can't show how we got the confession though.
It's more like one guy went, oh, yeah, I guess I wasn't doing that thing I thought that night. And it's like, oh, Jesus, okay. It's too much for me. Anyhow, we also have Jim Rockford Lootens.
Rockford Files?
There you go. I was
He's a private detective though.
I guess, yeah. I mean, he's on ranker.com as the 38th most popular fake police officer. So, but again, so is Serpico on here. He's not really fake. So,
and he was like faking like the double sense because he wasn't actually a police officer in the show as well. He was just a private detective.
Yeah. So maybe Ranker isn't the best source for truth, but it still worked for the purposes of getting names for this podcast. So it did its job. And I'm sorry that I didn't give any of you Chief Wiggum. I couldn't figure out which one to give it to. So I just kept keeping in my back pocket, and now we're out of shows to do nicknames. So Chief Wiggum never made his appearance, but I kept like, I'll do it this time. I'll do it this time. And then I never did it. I'm a little disappointed.
I always think of like Chief Wiggum, like where he's trying to crack a nut with the butt of his revolver.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, you gotta keep your cool. Oh, you son of a.
Oh, I love Chief Wiggum. I love Chief Wiggum as much as I don't like this movie today. Winner of the top box office films from ASCAP. Winner of the 2015 Young Artist Award, Best Performance in a Feature Film. Winner.
Who was the young performer who?
Best voiceover TV spot for the 60-second infomercial. Winner of the most original TV spot for the 60-second infomercial. Winner.
Where is this leading?
Of the Mockbuster Twin Award. Robocop. Right? All these awards.
They got an award for everything, don't they?
I mean, when I was on its IMDb and I saw that this movie had 4 wins and 1 nomination, I'm like, fucking what?
I mean, I was expecting it to be like, Razzies or something.
Yeah, something like that. Nope. All legit.
I don't know why it's all legit.
Who was the young?
His son won an award for best.
His son, who's like in it for like 2 minutes and says nothing.
His son just
sits there looking blank.
Papa, are you?
I have trauma. Trauma.
So you're saying if this was a musical, it would have elevated it to a good movie.
It would have. Oh, you're speaking my language now.
I actually like the idea of a Robocop musical.
I do too.
List your directives. They are threefold.
Look, I want to see like a kick line to like "Dead or Alive, You're Coming
Yes.
with Me," just like
Yes.
"Dead or Alive, You're Coming with Me."
Da, da, da. Dead or
Yeah.
alive.
Instead of den, it can be like.
Yeah, in short, I am pro Robocop musical. I am not pro Robocop remake.
Robocop musical directed by Paul Verhoeven. That would be
So,
hilarious.
But, you know
all
what,
the Tonys that year. Every Tony is gonna go to RoboCop.
I mentioned it last week. If you listened to last week, I really, really did not like this movie. The only reason I'm going to be somewhat positive to it is because I watched 3 right before it. 3 is if you didn't listen to last week, go back a week, listen to it. I really fucking hated 3. We all did. And this movie is not much better, but it is better. So we're going to talk about it as much as we can. It's definitely better. Like I know what we're comparing piles of shit, but still, you got to pick one pile. I'm gonna pick this pile.
I mean, I actually maybe like knowing who is involved in this film, I actually think that RoboCop 3 is better just purely based on the fact that the talent wasn't as good. Like when you have that much talent and still come out with a pile of shit, there's something wrong.
So you're grading on a curve.
Yeah, I'm grading on a curve.
But here's what I'm gonna say, and it is something that I think needs to be taken into account when you're talking about basically any movie from 2010 to 2020. Like this was a decade of film where holy shit did studios way overreach. They wanted to make everything the exact way they wanted to do it. They wanted to get the largest net possible cast. They wanted every single ass in America in the seats. So every movie in that decade, not every movie, but a lot of the movies in that decade, unfortunately, this is a lot when Marvel started coming out, and I kind of blame them a lot for this, very bland. They're very, very safe films. They're going to offend no one. They're not going to be too violent. They're not going to be too scary. They're not going to take any real heavy hits. They're not going to take too heavy of stances on anything. They are mayonnaise films. This is a prime example of one of those movies. So you can take insanely talented people. This director is incredible. The cast is incredible. The writers are there.
I don't actually know who the writers were, to be fair.
Neither do I. That's why I kind of bailed on that one. I'm looking, I'm like, there's 3 of them, and I don't recognize any of their names. They could.
Oh no, I do actually, because I was super shocked that apparently it was written like one other person, but 2 of the writers were the original writers of RoboCop. Apparently,
no, that's probably characters based on. Like,
it said in the end credits, it said written by this dude and Michael Miner and Ed Neumeyer, and I'm looking at it going, no fucking way. Like, seriously, that's got to be just based on the original screenplay.
I mean, they do on IMDb. They do have double credits. They have written by and 1987 motion picture. So who knows?
Yeah.
That could have just been part of their contract. They could have just cashed more money, or they could have actually worked on it. And
I mean, they could have worked on it, and the studio went, nah.
But to be fair, this movie, I don't know a lot about it. I didn't look at a lot of the behind the scenes because I really didn't like it, and I didn't want to waste my time with it any more than I already had. This movie feels like there is a fuckload of reshoots. I could be wrong, but it really has that feeling of it. Because there's 2 different versions of Michael Keaton in this. We have Michael Keaton who cares and Michael Keaton who doesn't give a fuck. And they're both here. And wow, are they different performances. And it's kind of like watching it's a terrible movie.
Gary Oldman in the same
Gary
way as
Oldman
well.
Too.
Gary
Wildly
Oldman
different
cares about
characters.
people.
Yeah.
Then
like,
all of a sudden doesn't. Like, I'm not going to build weapons for you. Quick. Delete
think
his
that's a
emotion so he's a
scripting
better
issue.
weapon.
yeah,
I think that's a script issue.
It's a script issue, but I also think it's I think it's a script issue combined with a reshoot issue. I don't know this for sure, but that's kind of what it feels like to me. Is like they just kind of keep going back to it and putting more and more band-aids on it. Like, nope, no, this is gonna offend somebody. Nope, this didn't work here. We're gonna put something on this. Nope, this is gonna work. We're gonna put something on this. Like you go back and you watch the Kevin Smith film Cop Out. That one had a fuckload of reshoots in it, and you can tell scenes with Bruce Willis good, scenes with Bruce Willis bad. Good reshoots, bad first shoot. Like you know immediately which ones you're watching. This movie feels a lot like that to me. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see where Michael Keaton, Joel Kinnaman, Gary Oldman were like, we're making a legit updated RoboCop. We have this director who knows what he's doing. Apparently, we have the original writers. I'm not sure how much I believe that. This feels like a movie that was like, no, we're actually going to modernize this thing. We're going to take on some real actual themes about like America policing the world by sending their drones to different countries. We have some actual things we want to talk about. And then the studio walks in and goes, no, 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 no. We're gonna make action sequences in family. Yep, action sequences. He's gonna miss his family. And I've really wanted to watch a robot cry. Can he cry in every scene? The more he cries, the more I feel like I'm watching a good Robocop film.
That's a really good idea, Mr. Executive. I've got another thing. I really like The Dark Knight. Can we make Robocop look like The Dark Knight? Can we do that?
Like, oof. So I'm really giving this movie a lot of rope that it probably doesn't deserve. I might be like way, way, way overinflating like the problems that it had, but just being on the other side of that decade and having seen so many films that got churned out that feel a lot like this one, that's what I'm guessing happened. No matter how we got here, we're still going to talk about the movie we have, which is still this fucking dog shit movie.
I mean, there's a lot to point to that as well, because I remember when the first images of the new Robocop were released, and it was the black suit monstrosity, and all the comments online were going, "That's not Robocop. That looks fucking nothing like Robocop." And then it's like they have them originally in the silver, and then they has the like throw away and go, "Make it black, make it more tactical." Blah blah blah. Blah. But then at the end of the film, he's back in the silver, like the more classic Robocop look. That to me, I was watching that going, they saw all the criticisms and like, oh, well, no, look, in the sequel, he'll look like Robocop. Seriously, give us a sequel. He'll look like the original Robocop. And they didn't get a sequel because it's a dog shit film.
Yep. Although it did make a crap load of money, if I remember correctly. So it still was successful.
Dog shit films do make a crap load of money sometimes.
I mean, all the Transformers did. So I guess,
exactly. So we're talking, it's that peak time of dog shit films making a crap load of money.
Are we ever going to do the Transformers franchise? I feel like we've flirted with that one a few times.
I feel like we probably should at this point. There's enough. Is there enough to talk about though? Like, you get.
I don't know.
It's like you get to Transformers 2. Yeah, Megan Fox has a nice butt. That Transformer has testicles. I think we're done. Oh wait! I forgot. Racist motorbikes.
Yeah. Oh man, maybe we shouldn't do that one. Oh boy. Okay, so
do you like racial caricatures? Boy, do we have a series for you.
Yeah, that is man. Transformers sucks. It might make me like this movie a little bit more. I'm trying to think of where to even start with this. I guess we should start this with Robocop. Joel Kinnaman, super excited for this role. Like, did an interview right after he got it where he kept telling everyone how it's gonna be R-rated and hard-hitting and badass, and the studio's like, shut up, Joel. No, it's not.
That's the thing. Like, maybe that's the original script that Miner and I always forget his last name. Ed
Neumeier.
Neumeier, yeah. Maybe that's the script that Miner and Neumeier turned in. A hard-hitting R-rated Robocop film that's looking at like today's themes of like, drones and stuff like that. And Joel Kinnaman signed up and was like, this is going to be amazing. And then the studio came in and were like, take out that, take out that, take out that, take out that. Well, he can't have this. We can't have him say fuck. We can't even say motherfucker. This is ridiculous. It's going to offend someone. Well, it's Samuel L. Jackson. Bleep it out.
Yeah, bleep it out. But the opening of this film, I actually don't think is bad. Like, it's not great. It's way heavy-handed, but like the whole the drones and the Ed 209s in what country are they in?
Iran.
Yeah. Like that sequence, I'm like, okay, this is what I'd expect from this director. Like this sort of like commentary on like America way over policing and those countries fighting back because of course they should fight back. Like that sequence, I don't think was bad. Like I think he was actually trying to say something. He was trying to use the Robocop aesthetic to do it. The rest of the movie tanks afterwards, and that's unfortunate. But I do think it does have a good start. All the way up to like the kid grabbing his knife to go out and fight with his dad. Like all this, like, oh, this is kind of like, wow.
Yeah, and it's like going up against like an Ed 209, and the Ed 209 looks at someone who's got like a kitchen knife and goes, I'm going to turn you into paste because that's a reasonable response.
But it's an Ed 209, and it actually felt like an Ed 209 response. Like
that's true.
I'm okay with it.
It felt like the boardroom Ed 209, though.
Yeah,
maybe one they shouldn't have fielded on the streets.
But again,
maybe get the glitch sorted out. Yeah,
yeah, but
temporary.
That feels like something America would do. So I'm still like, yeah, I get this. This isn't bumping me too hard. The rest of the movie does. I think Joel Kinnaman really gave it his all here. I don't think Joel Kinnaman to me feels like one of those actors. It does not matter what movie he's in, he's going to give it his all. Like,
yeah.
And I
I don't think I've ever seen a bad performance out of him, to be honest. He's been in bad movies, but he always feels like he's giving like everything that he is into the role.
He's had a couple of bad line reads that unfortunately have kind of like dogged his whole career. Like the whole like, this is Katana. Her blade keeps the souls of whatever it kills. Like that's like, okay, yeah, he didn't get it. It was a terrible line, so it's not.
I'm gonna say it's a terrible line. So
yeah,
it's like, you know, the little column A, little column B. There is.
Yeah. But I
we
agree
give a
with
dog shit dialogue, and you can't sell it.
There's only so much you can do with it. I mean, it's no like she died while fighting spiders in Brazil or whatever the fuck the line is from Madam Web, but like it could have been better. That said, I like Joel Kinnaman in the beginning of this. Like again, I think I like the movie more and more before RoboCop shows up, and then it really gets bad. But his whole like investigating the other cops, I thought was kind of interesting. I liked it.
I like Joel Kinnaman, and my introduction to him was The Missing, and I thought that he was fantastic. He knows how to play a cop, play a detective, and you get that in the beginning of this movie.
Yeah.
Then you don't get that when he dies.
Oh, when he turns into sad, weepy RoboCop, like, like it just
and then zombie RoboCop, and then back to sad, weepy RoboCop, and it's just. This film's all over the place because it's like they erase his emotions, but then all of a sudden they're back for like.
Yeah, he just
they just come back.
They just come back. Yeah, it's like, oh, that plot line's boring now.
There's no. This is the thing. Like this film is like it's almost like a whistle stop tour of the plot beats of RoboCop without the actual context.
Yeah.
So it's like him getting his humanity back. Like in the first one when he goes back to the house and it's empty and he's walking around the house and you see the memories start coming back to him. I'm talking about the first RoboCop film. Yeah. We don't have that in here. We just have all of a sudden it's like, I remember my family again. It's like,
but it's he never forgot his family in this one. Like that was like it
could just for a second when he walks straight past them.
No. I meant like when he wakes up as RoboCop. Like he doesn't realize. Yeah. And there was actually a cool idea there. Again, executed terribly, but like him waking up, like, oh shit, I am RoboCop now. Like he doesn't have the whole like, am I a robot? Like that existential dread is not there at all in this. He is just a set of lungs and a heart and a brain in a box, and that's it.
It's like the way that they show that to him as well, and it's like there is no way that like anyone will be able to comprehend or function like seeing that. Like if I were to wake up one day and someone just said, this is actually you, and like all my body just moved away from me and I'm just like a pair of lungs in some jar in my face and my hand on a weird stick as well.
Yeah. And again, to Joel Kinnaman's credit, his performance in that scene fucking spot on. Like spot on. When they remove, I think it's like his torso, and he like catches his breath for a second, just that like oh, it's good. Like you feel it. It's like, yeah, that's great.
And then he's like,
scene really sucks, but that moment was great.
What I love about that moment is where he starts begging the doctors, like, tell him it didn't work, tell him I died. And it's one of the only moments in this film where he like actually started to think, these things that there's some feelings there. There's a bit of emotion there.
And that's where like we talked a little bit offline back when Joel was still thinking 3 was better than this one. And I made the comment that like this movie at least had people who knew how to make films involved, and 3 did not. And there's scenes like this that to me really speak to that. Now, granted, after we did our episode on 3, I think 3 has those scenes as well, so I might be a little bit softer on 3 now. I still think it's dog shit and the worst movie we've ever covered on Binge Buddies. Don't lose that thread.
There's that pace car.
Yeah, it's still the pace car. Sooner or later something will beat it. If we ever do Leprechaun, it's gonna get dethroned.
I was just thinking, what could we cover that would do it?
There actually might be if we do Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there might be one of those too. But we'll see.
I mean, it's like what you're saying, like the sort of the overreach of American, like technology and all that sort of stuff, and like the American policing the world there's a line that Samuel L. Jackson says on his weird sort of Tucker Carlson-esque show that he's got, and he's like, what's more important than the safety of the American people? I'm sat there and he said like thinking the safety of everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, like everyone's safety? Like, you know.
Like the Samuel L. Jackson stuff is just so like I get it. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to do like the same talking heads they did from the original movies.
Yeah,
But
they're
without
trying to do a
having
media break, but not
it
very
doesn't
well,
work.
not
They don't have
executed well
they
at
don't have the
all.
like where are the ads? Like give me the commercials. Give me that sort of stuff that gets me in the world. None of that's there.
Yeah.
And
You
then
know,
like this
the
the
great thing
Samuel
with like the commercials, like you said, it puts you in that world because you have that sort of, you know, I keep mentioning the same advert all the time, but it is so perfect for that. And it's their Family Heart Center. And he's like talking about financing, you know, all this sort of stuff. And remember, we care. And it's just like, it's so straight into there. It's like, oh, you are just so corporate, but you're pretending.
Yeah.
And then you're pretending at the end that you care when like all you banged on about is how much this is going to cost. And it's just, it's one of those things.
And like I as much as I wish the advertisements and all that stuff was there, it's more so annoying that you have somebody like Sam Jackson who could still embody that stuff. You give him some crazy dialogue to chew on, he can chew on scenery all day, and we still could have been put in that world. They had the tools, they didn't use them, which is annoying because like I don't think anyone other than Paul Verhoeven and maybe the guy who directed the second one to a certain degree, but really understood what those advertisements were for. And it's really a bummer watching this one where it's like all the charm is gone. Like everything that made RoboCop hard hitting, hard to watch, sad, but also funny is not in this movie. And it's just it's an annoying shell of it.
Yeah. There's weird callbacks to the original film with none of the context as well. Like there's a character that I'll buy that for $1 at one point.
I wouldn't buy that for $1.
I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy that. But it's like there's no context as to where that's coming from in this film as well. Like, oh yeah, you're referencing the original film, but you can't just throw in a line and say, oh, that's a reference. Oh, look at how funny this is. Haha. It's like you've got to have. There's got to be some amount of context in there. Like, you know, have that show exist in this thing, like, you know, that it's make it slightly different, make it more 2020 whatever this supposedly takes place in, and have them like someone say, I buy that for $1, and then like then you get there's that reference a bit more, but it feels off.
Yeah,
it feels like a parody almost in some respects.
No, it does, and like it's kind of frustrating. Because I agree, you can have that show in here. We easily could have had that show, or you could turn it in one of the ads. Like there's easily things you could have done to make it work, and they just didn't. And then like we joked about it last week, or maybe in between episodes, but like the iconic RoboCop line of "Dead or alive, you're coming with me" is delivered in this thing in the worst delivery possible. Like this whole like he's fighting against his programming to be like more human than bot, and like this "dead or alive, you're coming with me," and it's like, oh no, like that's not. Oh well.
It is. It's a mess of a film. I think. I genuinely think it is. Like the more that I think about it, the more I think it's an absolute mess.
But there are things that work, which is like here's something that works. Putting Michael K. Williams in anything was always a good idea.
Well, yeah.
Always a good idea.
He was the perfect Lewis. Perfect.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go for the female partner, holy shit, did you find a great Michael K. Williams? Great call. They do nothing with him, which is
they do
bummer.
fuck all with him. Like, you know, he's like he appears in like one flashback at the beginning, which like why was that being told in flashback as well? Like these
would have been a stronger opening to the film, that's for sure. Just open with that. If you're not going to do that, if you're going to abandon the world police object immediately, then open with that sequence because it was bad.
Yeah.
So
like that would have been so much better. And like the opening is fucking weird anyway because it's just like over the MGM look. I thought there was something wrong with my because I just know this.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's happened to the audio here?
Yeah.
This is I guess this is as good as point to say what I want to say about this movie is, you know, the first movie does a really good job of laying exposition without needing to lay exposition.
Yeah.
Like you get OCP and Omnicore and all this stuff. This movie falls flat with that. Like this movie is all over the place. It does not know how to explain the world that we are living in.
No.
And it tries to do the commercials that we get in 1 and 2 very successfully. We get that with Samuel L. Jackson. So the movie trying to be a remake and trying to be its own thing falls flat on its face. You know, and one thing about this movie is we don't have good villains.
No.
There are No good villains. The guy that takes out Joel Kinnaman, Anton, or whatever his name is, he's
Valen, I think, is
Valen,
his
yeah.
surname.
I
Yeah.
forget who he is halfway through the movie, like a
He's-
few
Yeah.
times.
stupid. He is.
He's no Clarence
stupid.
Bodica.
He's
No.
not. And he's like some background thug that just gets blown away. And I was like, dude's dead. Cool.
You know who I do like
yeah.
though? I do like Maddox.
Which
Yeah.
one's that?
Yeah, I like
Jennifer
Maddox.
Haley?
Oh yes, he's good. And when you have the corporate world, he's the only good villain. That was worth it. Michael Keaton as Raymond Sellers. You've got the girl who I think is the lawyer, Liz. You've got Jay Baruchel, who's the marketing guy. I saw 2 Jay Baruchel movies this weekend. One of them was good. This was not it. The other one being
He does have
Blackberry's
one
so
good
good.
line. He does have one good line in it, I think.
He does.
The PI guy, and it's the bit where he's like, "Hi, sold his own murder. Damn, I wish I'd have thought of that. That's great."
What I will say is this: one of the things, and we've talked about this, so I know I'm about to get some flack, but Gary Oldman does a really good job of conveying moral ambiguity. Should I or shouldn't I? Now, I think with the reshoots, if there were in fact reshoots, I think that's where his character gets muddled. But I still felt his performance of this is a human being. He needs to be more of himself. Oh, I'm getting 10 years of research paid. Turn off his fucking emotions.
But that's the thing, it's not like there's no connective tissue between
not.
those statements, though. And this is the thing, like where you talk about moral ambiguity, I just see it like the character is so inconsistent because one minute he's saying, like, he goes from "I will not build weapons for you." I mean, I'm being like really obtuse when I say about 10 minutes later. It's probably about half an hour late after he says that. But he's there. They said, "Erase his emotions to make it a more efficient weapon." It's like there's nothing in there. It's like, he's wanting to succeed at this, but at the same time as that, he's also betraying who he is as a person.
Right.
And he's like, and then like later on, all of a sudden, it's like, no, I'm nice now. I'm not gonna let you die. It's like you're so inconsistent.
It's the way he does it is very weaselly.
Yeah.
It's like he's very, like, with Alex, all the interactions are there. Like, it's good. I want to preserve you. But when he's thinking about his research and what he must do, it's very weaselly. But again, I think that if there is this movie has a shit time explaining anything. Real shit time of explaining anything. And it's hard for the actors to flush that out. But I can appreciate Joel Kinnaman and Gary Oldman's, relationship, but then Gary Oldman being like, well, I have to think about my research. I want to be the best. So that's how I took it, and that's how I interpret it, to try to find something good from this movie.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think I think you're giving the movie a little bit of rope that isn't fully there. And I think that's mostly because it's Gary Oldman and he can kind of make something out of pure shit. Yeah. And like, because I don't think
I can see that.
Because I just don't think there's anything there to really explain that whole, like, the 10 years of research, because it just doesn't, the way they build his character up, it doesn't feel like he's the type who would care. Like, the way
this movie has a horrible time explling things.
Yeah, like, because when you see him with the guitar playing guy who had lost his arms, like that guy is not going to be like, I'll eat a person to have 10 years of research. Like, they just that character wasn't there.
Right.
That's why it's so inconsistent. Like, he goes from being this really caring guy to this really corporate guy in, like, for 10 years research. And I'm sorry, 10 years fully funded research, that's fucking nothing. Like, in research terms, that is nothing. Like, so, my partner is a scientist. She works in these fields, and, like, 10 years of research wouldn't even get, a third of a major project done. There's research things that she's working on now that are going to be finishing after she's retired. Like, granted, she works in space, so it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But those kind of
far away.
Yeah. but research in general, it's a long-term thing. 10 years of research, like, 10 years of funding for research is just going to leave your research unfinished. Like, a lifetime of the project would have been much better of a sell. Putting an actual date on it is just, I don't know.
For me, the rub is that they tried to entice his character with anything. That was the wrong way to go.
Money, essentially. They're trying to entice him with money. Like, that would not work for someone like that. Who we meet to start with. But then as we go into the film and his character becomes different again, money totally would entice him.
Yeah, but like for me, for my money, the way to make this work would be Michael Keaton plays the villain. He's already kind of playing the villain, but just have him keep doing that. I need to make Robocop a weapon. I'm not going to do that. That's my thing. Oh, it's unfortunate that your wife is in that room over there and we're going to kill her if you don't. Doesn't that suck? Like, I needed that sort of like the old man from the first movies. I needed that sort of businessman who does not give a fuck about human life. He wants to make money. That should have been Michael Keaton, and he should have been turning the screws on Gary Oldman the whole way through, to the point where Gary Oldman went, do your worst. I'm going to stand up for Alex. Get the fuck out of here. Like that's how you fix that sequence.
That makes sense.
Just wasn't there.
Yep.
And maybe it comes down to the fact that, like, you know, if we're assuming there's reshoots, maybe all that shit was in there, and then studio was like, nah, we can't do that. That might offend some businessman.
We can't have Michael Keaton be too mean because people love Michael Keaton. That would not surprise me as a note from the studio. If he was a super villain, no, people love Michael Keaton. He can't be that mean. That is a very studio note.
But we cast him as the villain. See, let's make him a nice villain.
He's still Michael Keaton though. Like. Yeah, and this is that prime decade where those sorts of notes just fucking reign supreme. So it's like, can you figure out what my least favorite decade for movies is?
2010. I got it. I win. But I win.
Oh, I was gonna guess the 1980s. He seems to really hate all the films in the 1980s. Like those Friday the 13th films, terrible movies. That'd have been so much better if it was a Friday the 13th t-shirt.
Yeah.
Put that on the video.
I genuinely think we need that just as like just as like to go in the show notes. Just that screen cap in the show notes. No context.
Introducing Binge Buddies Cabaret.
I was so proud that I was actually wearing something Jason, so I could pull that off. Like that was I mean, I usually am.
Boy, I'm glad it wasn't underwear though. Jesus.
I just stayed up like, all right, guys.
I'd have paid money.
Who's ready for the show?
We were I'd buy that for $1.
Speaking of that, Joel's been quiet.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Joel did shit in like an hour.
Are you ready?
Yeah. I was winding up for it.
It's fucking, if Jesus Christ, he's limbering up.
Listening to you guys has sort of just reminded me everything I disliked about this movie, and just as much about you guys saying like this works for me. No, the start doesn't work for me. The start in the Middle East doesn't work for me. It pulls everything out too far out into a macro view for something that's been predominantly just about this one city and them trying to wrestle with crime.
Sure,
you know, I think
can't argue with you.
I think the corpo versus police force stuff, the focus of that more honed in, they threw that out the window here. Yeah, in my opinion. At least they don't have it relatable. Black doesn't work well for Robocop. That's a minor grievance in the grand scheme of things, but like
he looks rubber as well. Like
he looked good in the original thing. Like when they had him hooked up at first.
It looks like metal. It looks like it would stop a bullet. The black
was like, okay, it's like a little more sleek, but he's still Robocop, right? I hate how fast and limber he is.
I do too. Like, I hate fast Robocop.
Despise that, and
it's zombies.
yeah. It's just I need more mechanical out of him than that.
Right.
You know, you've just made me think of something. Do you know when in Endgame you go from Iron Man? So you got like in the first Iron Man, it's all nuts and bolts and stuff like that, and then to the point where you get to Endgame where it's just like nanotech.
Yeah,
right.
It's like that. It's like Robocop has gone from being really mechanical to just being like, "Hey, I'm a robot, but you can't really tell because I'm wearing a scuba suit."
Yeah,
I
agree.
Just
the general characterization of Robocop, I don't like.
You don't like Weepy Robocop?
It goes farther back than that in the movie.
End the show right there.
That was a line read. That was a line read. It goes further back than that.
From the outset, and I don't think it's the actor's fault in this case. I think there was a characterization up front the way they keep his humanity from the get-go, and it's just a chip implant that turns him into RoboCop. I liked a lot the original of it. Like, we implanted what's left of you into this shell body, and clearly you've had some brain issues too. But you are mostly robot using a human core, and then we slowly peel back on his humanity a bit in the originals. This, he keeps his humanity from the start. Oh, he's a little too far. Let's tweak his humanity and put a bunch of dopamine in him so he doesn't think about anything.
I love how they kept saying dopamine.
Yeah. And then the doctor realized he made a mistake and undoes it. And whatever
he
about
loses and
what
regains his humanity like 50 times in this film.
it doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's not a logic or consistency to it. And oh my god, I hate that final rundown. Him overriding his directives just because I have feelings now.
Yeah,
it
does not work at all.
That is so fucking shit.
Yeah, that's stupid.
The first movie
you just
did it
raises
perfectly. You're fired.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
It's clever, smart. You got to find a smarter way to integrate that into that. It doesn't work.
I did one.
The
Like, I
old
was waiting
X-Men
for
Last
someone to bring that
Stand.
up. I
Don't let it
fucking hate
control
it.
you.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting for someone to bring that up. To be honest, so I was waiting for us to get to that because that end confrontation is fucking terrible.
awful.
It is so bad because it's just like, you know, you can't do it like directed for, but it's like and it's like it's almost like he can't lift the gun. Like all of a sudden the gun's really heavy, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna lift it enough. Now I've got it lifted enough. Now I can pull the trigger. It's like, no, you're still a fucking robot with directives that are stopping you just because.
But he did it with his human hand.
They don't give a
line
fuck.
while glitching.
I wish they would have chopped off that hand earlier.
Why the fuck didn't the hand annoys the shit out of me?
Yeah, that's
like
just that's
this
dumb.
little hand
It's
here.
so-
If you're not knowing which one I'm
so
talking
dumb.
about,
Yeah.
So
the
dumb when
first
he's-
movie
when
made
he's-
a
when they
point
take it-
to. They made a
when they
point
take
to
him
remove
over,
the
when they-
arm. Like that was the whole thing.
And
Like,
amputate it.
yeah, get rid of the
Yeah.
arm. I wanted a robot. Like that's the
Yeah,
whole.
why don't you
point.
use my strong hand?
But it's another weakness. Like that's a
There's
fleshy
no
hand.
bone either. I love that too. When he's on the
Jesus.
slab, it's his brain, his face, his lungs. I don't even know if he's got a fucking heart.
Not
and
sure.
His hand.
Yeah. And
His hand is just there.
The fact that the hand is
His
not
hand is
a
like- is on like
grappling
a-
hand annoys the shit out of me. Like that should so easily be like, I'm gonna launch my hand that way. Like go gadget hand.
Right.
But it's like that's the thing. Like the hand as well. Like what it's connected to is like a fucking Allen key or something like that weird bent metal thing. It's just like what the hell is with the hand? It's so strange. Like, oh, we're gonna open it. Look at. Like, we're gonna take your legs off. We're gonna take your arms off. We're gonna take. Oh, we took the other arm off. Why is there just a hand floating there though?
Also, how the fuck did the hand survive? Isn't
Exactly.
the hand, wouldn't he have been using that hand to open the exploding car door?
Yes.
Probably.
Like,
Yeah, they fucked that up, didn't they?
Continuity
Because
here,
it's that's the
motherfucker.
hand.
he's
That's the hand that's
right-handed.
closest.
That's the
Yeah.
hand that would have been opening the door. That hand should be fucking gone.
But it's
Also,
also,
his-
a major weak point. Like, you know, they bang on about like, oh, his armor or so, like anything other than a 50 caliber bullet, and then apparently all criminals just have easy access to 50 caliber weapons. So that's
All of them, yeah.
fucking stupid anyway. But
Her-
then it's like, just
That's
shoot the
the plot
hand.
twist. Remember, it's the chief of police working with
His
whatever
wife
the fuck
sees
his
his
name is.
torched corpse and seems mildly concerned rather than panicking and freaking out.
If
Like-
that, she just kind of gets out and checks her watch. Like, oh,
Yeah, you have to say this too.
Oh,
'cause we're at that
no.
point. The plot twist in this movie that it's the chief who is working with whatever the bad guy is. You know, that's stupid. That was a
Oh,
Bad.
you mean the thing
Bad.
that they just threw away after 30 seconds?
yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it
Here's
was
how
the
you're gonna get your
ch-
50 caliber bullets. We're gonna give them to you because we're working with the bad guys.
Yep.
And it's the
Oh.
chief.
And then
thinking
like,
it.
Maddox or Maddox, however you
Yeah.
pronounce his name, like he
Yeah.
shuts him down. So it's like, and then they're trying to like, and then it's like this weird thing where they're trying to infer that Omnicore was working with them as well or something. There's like a
oh
weird
yeah,
thing
that
going
made
on.
no sense. They just
And
kind of
it's
threw
like,
that
where
in there.
did this fucking come from? Like,
Yeah,
this
it's-
makes no sense.
This movie falls apart hard in the third act.
It takes that long.
They don't even get to the third act
I'm
before
trying to give
falls
it
apart
fucking
hard.
credit, man.
Like
So-
halfway through the first act, it falls apart.
Yeah, like,
So you all were very incredulous at my critique of this being on the same level as 3.
Oh, I'm
No,
still
no,
there.
no.
All of
I'm
that
still
is
there.
I'm still
all of
still
that
trying
is
to
Still
figure
gonna
out which
all of
require
is
that is
a
better.
coin flip.
Hey, I accept you guys are going to make your choices, and I've come to terms with that. But that is why I struggle, because the longer I listen to this conversation, I think about all the things I dislike about this movie. And this is like the Terminator Salvation of RoboCop movies.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the most damning way possible.
I would say
I
3 is
agree with
more
you.
of that than this one. Like but no, I can see what you mean too. Like they both.
To be
It
honest,
goes back to
three-
that 2010
three at
style,
least-
Brian. Where
No, you're
it's-
right. You're dead
it's
on. I was
flattened, boring. They don't understand what the movie's supposed to be.
and
A
it's way
shit
too many
ton of
cooks in the
actors in
kitchen.
it to make it spicy.
It's just
Yep, you're dead on
it's
there.
movie by committee. It's movie by committee. I've
Yeah.
said that about a few films that we've covered before. This one is so movie by committee. And like what you're saying, Joe, as well, like earlier, you made a point about them opening it up too more, of going out into the world. It's like
Mhm.
they're building him in fucking China as well for some bizarre reason. Like I know that like labor's cheaper over there and manufacturing's cheaper over in China, but don't build
An
your
American
Robocops in
war
China.
machine would be built at home.
Yeah.
Again, 2010 movies, every single movie had to bring China into it in some way or another because
I
movies made a lot
know
of money in China.
because
That's it.
movie by committee. Like
Yep.
this is the thing. It's like it's not a movie made by filmmakers. It's a movie made by a committee of people. Go, no, we need to appease these people.
Yeah.
We need to throw them a bone. We need to throw these people a bone.
And
Oh,
this-
we're getting some shit from these people. Oh, well, okay, well just we'll have a little throwaway line in there to make them happy.
and that's the 2010 movies all over. We're barely getting out of it in 2020s a little bit, but it's getting better, but it's still not done yet. But the 2010s had it the worst, and Joel nailed it. Yeah, this one has the same problems with Salvation because it did the exact same shit. Both movies in 2010s. That's what we get. It's really unfortunate because I honestly, I'll go back to it. Lots of very talented people were clearly involved with this one, and that's why I'm still going to rank this one way lower than 3 because 3 did not give it the same care and attention. This movie
We're
had a ton
lower
of-
than 3.
3 way lower.
No, clip that.
Fuck that. You know what I mean. But either way, like,
Do we?
this movie has legit filmmakers involved. Whether or not they're able to do their job, that's up for debate. 3 did not. 3 is just an absolute pile of shit. So like, with that in mind, I could still go like maybe this one is worse than 3.
But
because
it's a
this
pile of shit that still feels like a Robocop film. At the end of the
What
day,
does?
it still feels
This?
Robocop 3.
Okay,
Robocop 3. Robocop 3 is a pile of dog shit that still kind of feels
it
like
does
a
not feel like a
Robocop
Robocop film.
No, it does
to
not.
me at
It does
all.
not.
It feels like
It
a
feels more like a
shitty-
Robocop film than this one does. This one
No,
feels
they're on-
like
this is where I'll agree with Joel. These things are on par of not RoboCop.
Yeah.
Neither one of these movies are RoboCop movies. They are both dog shit. This one just had more talented people involved. Like that's it for me.
it's more talented people who didn't actually use their talents.
Just saying there are more talented people involved. It's the baseline. This is the pace car, if you will. No, we're arguing for inches going in the wrong direction, but yes.
So if
Why are
if
we not?
Robocop
Why are
3
we?
Robocop 3 is the pace motorcycle, and Robocop the remake is the sidecar attached to the motorcycle.
These are 2 of the worst movies we've covered for Binge Buddies. Is all
Save the-
So when I was watching this the other night, like my partner was like, for some bizarre reason, she decided to try out her new camping mat and sleeping bag. So she's in the living room on the floor, not watching this, but can hear it. And she's just like, I just hear this voice over in the distance go, "Is it fucking over yet or what?" And then when it actually finished, she's like, so they just decided to just try and redo the first one, but badly.
Yeah.
And I went,
Yeah. That's it. Nailed it.
That's a fair assessment.
Yep. Wow, Charlotte's
She-
really gonna hate it when we
she-
do Leprechaun.
She didn't watch the
I don't
movie,
think
she
she'll
gets it.
watch.
I'm not sure if
Avoids horror
I'll
films.
watch. Leprechaun's like not even in 2024, so don't worry. It's a ways away. We got to do
Of all the horror ones that we've covered, I got her to watch Halloween. That's it. The first Halloween film.
none of the Friday 13th. I'm offended.
You wouldn't watch them all, no.
I'm offended, but you know,
She wouldn't even watch 6 when I was really like saying 6 is really good. It's really funny. No, she won't sit through it.
Phantasm.
We went together when we did Phantasm.
Okay. Well, now you have a date night ahead of you. Long
I
Day
don't
Night.
think she'll go for it. She doesn't like horror. That's one of the things she says. I don't like horror films.
Oh yeah, Phantasm. Are they horror?
They try.
I'd say they're more horror than like Friday the 13th.
They're action horror. You know, most
They're
horror
an
movies.
experience.
They're an experience. That's the best way to
are.
put it. Yeah. So we're fully off the rails at this point. Is there anything else we want to say about this remake, or do we want to like put it out of its misery? I'm glad we've done RoboCop. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very happy to never have to watch 3 or the remake ever again in my life.
Oh, fuck
I
this
just
movie.
remembered one thing that I wanted to say. Like,
Hit it.
when he goes to his own like crime scene, and he's just basically doing Batman in Arkham Asylum, where he's scanning like the crime scene, and he's like picking up stuff that's like, this is more than 3 months later. That shit's gonna have been cleaned up. It's gonna have rained. Like, you know, it's not gonna be there. Like, it was like, this is the thing. It's so like, the design of RoboCop is very much like Batman. I think they were wanting to make a Batman film, to be honest.
No, they want to make Iron Man. This is all an answer to Iron Man.
That's
the only
true.
reason this movie got
especially the way
greenlit-
he's assembled, that's
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah, the only reason this thing got greenlit was because of Iron Man.
But it's
Like,
like
that's-
Iron Man doesn't really do detective shit though.
No, but it's still RoboCop, but as Iron Man. Like, even his design looks like Iron Man. He looks like Black Iron Man. Like, this is so clearly
Yeah.
just Iron Man. Fuck this movie. Oh man.
Yeah.
A rough recording session with 3 in the remake this weekend. Like, god damn.
I had more fun talking about last week's movie.
I think I did too. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. Both of them were fun, but this one made me more angry than 3 did.
Yeah.
But 3, I think, because 3 was easier to walk away from. Like, this thing is just such an absolute dog pile that I can just kind of go like, it was kind of comical. This one's just more like offensively bad. Joel might have swung me onto saying this one's worse than 3. We'll find out next week. But
Well, I think that's what it comes down to, isn't it? This one is it's in that era of the studios are saying, nah, do this.
Yeah.
Nah, do that. The people, like the non-creative people, like, you know, for all it's worth, like, RoboCop 3 had creative people making the decisions. They were the wrong decisions.
yes,
I'm
every
not
one of
going to say that they were the right decisions at all. They were the wrong decisions, but at least it was creative people who were taking a swing at something and they just did not hit. They missed every time.
This movie takes itself way too seriously. It plays everything straight. There's almost no humor whatsoever. It lost the plot of what it's supposed to be. And the fact that there's so much talent in it and it still fails is damning to me more so than
that's my point. That is
Joel's
my
on a
point
soapbox,
exactly.
and he
is.
playing me too.
Joel's taking his hard swings at this movie, and I don't. He's kind of swinging me to that thing.
That was my point, that like you articulated it way better than I could have done, though, because like that's what I'm sort of saying. Like, with the amount of talented people we have in this film, the fact that we get a film this bad means that it is worse than a film with less talented people in that is just as bad.
But here's my thing: is I actually still think 3 is a worse film, but it's a worse film that takes bolder swings. And I've said it before in this show and every other show I've been a part of. I'd rather watch the worst movie ever made that took legitimate swings than a bland fucking bore of a film. And this one is way more of a bland fucking bore.
There's no swings in this film, really. Like you said, Joel, there's no humor in it. Like, the big draw of RoboCop is that satire of the 80s. It's a comedy. It is a comedy wrapped in a science fiction action film, and it's got like deep meaning themes. But like, when it comes down to it, RoboCop is a comedy.
Matt, you nailed it.
The dark comedy.
You know, it's exactly like I said. You know, the first one we get, you know, big corporation, and it's a joke. We don't get that in this. That's a solid call.
And there's a stupid throwaway line at the end as well. Like, so Omnicorp, they keep calling it Omnicorp, and then there's like this weird throwaway line which is never set up throughout the whole thing, that like it's actually a smaller subsidy of its parent corporation, OCP. So like,
and that threw me off. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. The logo is OCP.
Right,
Omnicorp, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the parent company OCP. It's like, wait a minute, what?
It doesn't know the story it's telling.
No, it might have at some point, but throughout reshoots, rewrites, and everything, it lost the thread, and we're left with a pile of shit. I'm done talking about this thing. I don't want to keep going. I'm texting my wife on the side and just letting you guys go. Are we done with this?
We're done.
Can
Yeah.
we move on? We still have to do another fucking wrap up on this thing, which means we're not done talking about it yet. So
Well,
It's gonna be real difficult
well-
though to pick like the top 5 things and not just have everything from the first film.
it's just going to be a love letter to the first film and then some stuff because the second movie still has the
yeah, that's true.
Oh, Tom Noonan.
like there's a few things that I liked more.
No,
than
I
that.
think Brian was referring to the failed Robocop 2.
Yeah,
that
the
just
failed
walks out, just
Robocop.
pulls
Oh,
it
yeah,
out.
Yeah,
yeah,
he rips
yeah,
his head
yeah.
off. It's just the skeleton.
Forgot about
And
that one.
shooting the woman is still like I feel bad saying that, but the way he does it just stumbles out and bang.
Shoots over the head, falls on, and then the little police lights.
I actually I do have one question for you all about RoboCop Salvation. This they
End it.
tease.
No, don't ask the question. End it.
No, I have to let this out. When they're picking RoboCop candidates and they talked about the one that has an anger problem, I assumed that was going to be set up for him to be the second RoboCop if there was a follow-up.
I thought he was going to be the bad guy.
I just thought it was a throwaway line, just to like, nah, this one's no good because Murphy's not been killed yet. So
a better movie would have done something with that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, better movie. Maybe they did, and then they reshot it out of it.
Get your
Like,
expectations off this movie. It doesn't deserve them. All right, we're moving into quotes if you got them.
I've got one.
I'm so burned out on this movie.
I've got one because I liked the reply, and it's during the final exam, as it were,
Mm-hmm.
and it's after Max is on the ground, Murphy's approaching him, and he just says into the little speaker thing to Dr. Norton, he says, "Hey Doc, what happens if I tase an exoskeleton with a little asshole inside?" And then Dr. Norton goes, "I think we're all curious to find out." And then he just goes and just tases Max. I think that was like one okay, decent line.
That was one moment of humor.
Yeah.
I think the Sam Jackson stuff bothers me because clearly that was meant to be their humor as a parody of that type of news station.
Funny.
It wasn't funny.
Oh yeah, it reeked of punch up. Reeked of punch up. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't have a moment, but I do want to shout out Evan Stern, who I don't remember who he played as in this, but if you have not seen Letterkenny, he's one of the characters in that, and he's very funny there.
You've told me to watch Letterkenny before. I've never really gotten around to it. I need to.
Give it a shot.
Right.
The first couple episodes are a little rough, but it picks up after that. I would also be remiss to not mention that Kelly did like this one better than 3. She liked the actual like love story stuff because she actually has a heart, and so I just want to make sure there was representation there.
Well, I wonder if we would have sold her onto hating it more had she joined us today. We'll have to let us know if she listens to this episode and she was like, well, never mind, I'm swung.
Will do.
I mean, I like a good love story in these kind of films, but this one didn't really have it because they just kept shoving the wife to the sidelines.
You have to keep in mind she's viewing it from her perspective though, of like you signed these waivers to let your husband be sort of reassembled as something. It's not bringing it home and trying to reconcile with what he is after going through that. And then the whole like I just watch you shot a person without saying anything and trying to deal with the kid. So to me it doesn't work, but I can see putting yourself in the shoes of the character why it would.
Yeah, I can see that. Just not very well executed, I don't think.
No.
I got a line.
Go for it.
When he's solving his own murder and the chief goes, he's off solving his own murder. And Tom Pope, Jay Burchell goes, "Oh, that's genius. Why didn't I think of that?"
Yeah, that was a fun moment.
Yeah, so that's the second bit of humor in the film. That's it.
That's all I got.
I mean, him being blown up was kind of funny.
Kind of. I'm having a lot
I mean,
of
it was
trouble.
the stupidest thing is that, like, you know, if you literally you're aware that, like, you know, some crime guy is probably out to get you at this point and your car's acting up, don't fucking go outside and stand right next to it. Call a bomb
I
squad.
like criminal. I'm gonna start referring to criminals as crime guy. You're one of them crime guys.
Nah, another crime guy, are you? Very 1920s. Like, you need to have a cigar. Another crime guy.
There's a crime guy on the loose. Extra, crime guy on the loose.
Crime guys are everywhere.
Dateline, Detroit, crime guys all over the place.
I'm trying to come up with a favorite moment from this, and I'm having a lot of trouble.
Hey, you came up with something for 3.
I did, fuck, man. It's
see, this is the worst movie of the series.
Quit trying to make fetch a thing, Joel.
the thing is, like, there are things that I like in the movie. I like Joel Kinnaman in the movie. I guess if I
do you like Joel Kinnaman in the film though, or do you just like the fact that he's a really good actor who's giving it his all, and it just like everything that is like, I don't know if it's direction or story or whatever, it just does not work though.
Way more on that, because
like, and because I ended up feeling sorry for him.
Yeah,
because more than anything, I was like, I wish this would have worked for you, dude. I really do.
I think I am going bold. I think Joel Kinnaman was capable of a Peter Weller-esque performance in a Robocop film, not this one.
I can see that.
I'd accept that.
Having seen him in a lot of other things as well, I 100% agree.
I got my favorite moment. How did I forget my favorite moment? It's from Avatar. I love Avatar, and a scene from Avatar is in this movie, so that's my favorite sequence. It's when he wakes up. It's the "this is great" scene from Avatar, except he's all pissed in this one. But otherwise, it's the exact same scene. He wakes up, he's told where he is, he's in a new body, he goes running for it, he jumps over a wall, ends up in a field with a bunch of people farming shit, and gets knocked out there. He doesn't get knocked out in Avatar. This time he does get knocked out. But otherwise, it's the exact same fucking scene from a movie that came out 5 years before this one, and they just shoved it into this. Worked better in Avatar, but I still liked watching a bit of Avatar in this. It gave me a break from this piece of shit.
Well, that does
the shit scene. I hated that scene. It made no fucking sense. It made absolutely no fucking sense.
No, sure didn't. It just we want the scene from Avatar in this. Put it in this.
Because now someone's got to go out to that field and drag RoboCop back as well.
No, it's like again, getting ahead of ourselves. Have you ever seen the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street? It's like, oh, there's a scene from The Descent in this because the director's favorite movie was The Descent, and now that scene's just in this movie. Does it have any place in this movie? Nope, none whatsoever. But the director wanted it in here. Avatar and RoboCop.
So your favorite moment in this film is a scene that shouldn't be in the film.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, dead on. Got it.
This is the worst RoboCop film.
I don't like the 2010s for movies.
Some of it is like very Black Hawk Downish in terms of between this and Salvation, that trying to get really to the serious topics that they're not built to handle.
No.
Yeah.
The
weird thing is, like, the director can handle that. It's more, absolutely. I think the studio would not let them.
Yeah. Did everybody get their favorite moment?
I think so. We all went.
So?
Yeah.
As much as we could have them. Okay. All right, so I will again, out of all the shows we've done on Binge Buddies, we always do a wrap up. We're going to do a wrap up for this one next week as well. I will say this one has the highest of highs compared to lowest of lows of anything we've done on Binge Buddies. The lowest film compared to the highest film, huge gap.
That's including the Halloween films as well.
That is including the Halloween films for sure. I would watch either version of Halloween 6 any day over 3 or the remake.
There's that pace car, baby.
Like all these movies we used to like bitch at Ryan for making us watch. We're now like, okay, they weren't that bad.
Yeah, but Ryan's made us watch more.
You do any plugs? Thank you for having me on here.
But I'm excited to do the wrap up. It probably will not be nearly as long as the last 2 wrap up episodes because there's just way less to talk about. There's only 4 movies, and clearly we hated 2 of them. So it's gonna be a little bit short of a wrap up. And then after that, we got our new show coming at you of The Good Place. We don't have an official title yet, still working on it. I'm leaning towards Fork the Forking Forkers, but I have not been fully sold on that yet. But I love the Swedish Chef, and I feel like I'm doing a Swedish Chef quote there.
I mean, you're the one that's going to be saying it, so...
That's true.
One thing I never figured out, maybe I listed, why is this one called Automatic Pig?
Robocop.
Automatic is a robot.
I didn't know if it was a pull from a quote of the movies or something. Okay, that was more clever than I...
That needs to be the light bulb moment for Joel. Needs to be somewhere in this part of video. That was great.
Oh boy, I thought it was a good title. I've had so many people ask
I
me
knew what you were getting at the whole time. The fact that Joel just figured it out is perfect.
No, Joel, you're not alone. I've had so many people ask me, like, why Automatic Pig? Like robotic cop. Oh my! I've had so many stupid fucking titles for this show. Every time I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. This one where I'm like, I thought this one actually made sense for once, and people are like, that one doesn't make sense.
Clearly, your brain works differently to people.
Tell me about it.
Not other people. People.
Fuck.
Joel, you reminded me of when my, the Dam View, right? The Dam View right by the Last Picture House.
Yeah.
My cousin, his wife, I go, oh, look at that. What a damn view. She goes, oh my God, I understand why it's called the Dam View now.
Yep.
Because there's a dam right over there.
There's a damn store in one of the Dakotas too. And you just see like 100 miles till the damn store, 80 miles till the damn store until you get there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to say goodbye. Do we want to do plugs? We're going to do a quick round plugs. No, Ryan's saying no. I think we've plugged before. We know where we can find each other. Listen to last week if you need to hear plugs. And be sure to tune in next week when we talk wrapping up Automatic Pig. This has been a lot of fun. This is the first time we've ever recorded all of the episodes before the first episode even came out. I apologize for my absolute shit scheduling. I had a project at work, really took over the majority of my free time, but it's in the rearview mirror now, so I can do stuff again. And I'm excited for The Good Place. It's like the least dramatic intro for a show that we're doing I've ever done. It's just like I'm just talking about it casually because I announced it on a different podcast. Yeah. Bye.
I was there for that one.
You were there for that one. Joel was there in a fashion too. Yeah, I was watching.
Joe was just off to one side.
Yeah, I was watching for Ocarina of Time the entire time we were recording.
Can I come in the room and say something?
I had headphones on. I made sure it's supposed to be not part of the conversation.
You gave Kelly answers like 4 times to questions.
Did that catch on the mic?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
You were still there a little bit.
I heard her talk.
Yeah, no.
Her voice carries.
Yeah, that's fair.
I now need
She's
to
a
be on
teacher.
that
She has
side.
to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bye.
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 Bye.